Wow.
Buenas, 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 buenas. 9 months.
Exacto, para un index, conocimientos, dinámico, tu mente es demasiado poderosa y logras cuánto tiempo logras ser positivo. Y deseo. Catalizado. Apoteósico.
Apoteósico.
Este año me pareció muchísimo mejor que el año anterior. Yo vengo desde hace varios años siguiendo a Daniel. Daniel es mi mentor. Yo he participado en múltiples eventos que ha hecho él y la verdad siento que cada vez que hace uno es mejor que el anterior, supera todas mis expectativas y mejoro mi IQ financiero. Este año me ha parecido muchísimo mejor que el año anterior. Yo vengo desde hace varios años siguiendo a Daniel. Daniel es mi mentor. Yo he participado en múltiples eventos que ha hecho él y la verdad siento que cada vez que hace uno es mejor que el anterior. Supera todas mis expectativas. Y mejoro mi IQ financiero. Y estoy completamente
Ayuda de res. Good. On your own, too. Okay, pone ahí, o sea, uy, mano, no galeteo, weón. Uf, uy, gonorrea. Uy, gonorrea. Uf, mano, que
You have a
pone ahí.
scrolling addiction because you don't give yourself the structure you need. The truth is, back when I was scrolling around 10 hours a day, it was my fault. I couldn't blame the phone, I couldn't blame the companies because at the end of the day, I was the one waking up, grabbing my phone, and scrolling. It's not the company's fault, it's not your phone's fault, it's not the app's fault. And if you keep blaming the externals, you're not going to change. But what will help you is taking accountability. So the first step of this video, understand that it's you in the driver's seat. You are the one who chose to scroll those times. You're the one who is also choosing to watch this video and change, right? So it's a duality, right? You're responsible for the negative, you're responsible for the positive. But if you take accountability, you completely accept that you are in the driver's seat, that's how you can change. So when I was scrolling 10 hours a day, first of all, it was my fault. But second of all, I didn't give myself the structure I needed. Back in that first example, I would wake up and my phone would be right on the table, right next to me. So, is it really a wonder that I'll reach for it first thing and I would just start scrolling? It's no wonder. When you first wake up, you're not all there, right? People drink coffee for a reason. And expecting yourself to use willpower and discipline when over the past days, weeks, months, even years, you haven't, is just idiotic, right? You can't rely on willpower and discipline. They're nice. But ideally, you live the kind of life where you don't even need those things, where your day is so structured that you don't even think about scrolling. You don't have to fight yourself, you just live your life. And so, the first step of building this structured routine is to have a structured routine. Because whether you believe it or not, you already do have a routine. But it's not the kind of routine you think of. Your routine is waking up and scrolling until 2 a.m. That's the routine you've built so far, and it's hard to make a routine, but we've already gotten that part, right? We already had a routine. You just have to replace it. And replacing something is a lot easier than starting from complete scratch. So, using the triggers that you already have in your structure, we can use those same triggers to something positive, which is the second step. Have certain activities, and I really, really, really recommend working out, training, exercise, whatever you want to call it, some kind of physical activity. I recommend this to people who I coach as well. Having that physical exercise, particularly early in the day, sets you right. Right before this video, I had a workout, and so I feel great. I'm feeling on task. And having that kind of activity instead of scrolling can change your day. I mentioned this earlier, but the earlier on in the day it is, the better off you'll be because then you'll have the positive effects of that, feeling like you did something, that positive momentum for the rest of the day. But all you have to do is do one thing. And so having those activities be triggered by the usual triggers is a game changer. I want you to think about the triggers you have in your day right now. Because
Hello.
it's not random when you scroll, right? It's not just like a random thought pops up, you do it. No. It is specific times of day, events, circumstances. For me, the three biggest ones were when I would first wake up, when I would get back home from the gym, or when I'd get back home from school. Any of these three were my triggers. So like I get back home and I just feel tired from school or the gym, or I'd wake up and I was tired. Those were my triggers. And so removing just those three triggers made it so that I scrolled 80% less. That's the kind of ROI we're talking about here, where if you just remove and change how three things in your brain operate, you can go to 2 hours of scrolling just like that. And so, how you replace triggers is by transmutation. Transmutation, as in transmuting one chemical into another, like in alchemy. In this case, we're doing it with our habits. The easiest way to do it, and this is what I've used so many times, put a sticky note on your phone. Like when you wake up and you go back to the same exact routine that you've been doing, no. The night before, or especially right now since you're watching the video, get a sticky note and just write, go work out. So that when you wake up in the morning, you go reach for your phone. The sticky note is right there. You can't ignore it. And so it's a constant reminder of, as well as setting phone alarms, putting a paper on the wall, anything to remind you of the task. That's how you transmute. And the third and final step. So we've been going through accountability and also how to build a structure, right? The first step was realizing that you do have a structure. You just have to replace it with the triggers. The second step was implementing certain activities. I really recommend exercise into that structure and replacing them. The third is not a disclaimer, but it's a mindset that I want you to have. So far you've watched this video, you've taken accountability, you have all that set up right in your head. But then tomorrow's gonna roll around. And if you don't listen to this part of the video, you're gonna go back to exactly what you've been doing. You're gonna feel motivated right now from this video. Tomorrow you're just gonna keep scrolling, right? The actual game changer that I need you to understand is lowering the effort of your routine. There's a reason I didn't tell you a step-by-step daily routine that goes from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. No, I'm saying the easier and simpler your routine is, the more likely you are to do it. Who would have known? But my routine consists of three things. Cold shower first thing in the morning, workout, video. If I hit those three things, I'm almost guaranteed that my day is going to be a good day. And that's how it is. Like, the easiest and simplest routine is one thing. Now, of course, we don't want to just do one thing, but stop thinking in terms of the perfect day. Think about the first steps of a perfect day. What would that look like to you? What would the first few things that you do in your day look like in your perfect day? Because let's be real, if you do the first steps of the perfect day, you're probably going to do the rest of them, right? The focus should be on the morning, on the first few things you do. And if you make them easy, I'm talking about like the morning shower, it takes what, 4 minutes. The easier those things get, the easier you'll be on those bad days. But we all have good days, bad days, right? On good days, it's easy to be motivated, right? That's probably a reason why you're inconsistent with scrolling. Like one day you might actually do something, and the next day you crash and burn. Why is that? It's because you have good days and bad days. But having a perfect routine on a bad day is impossible. You are not going to do your perfect routine on a bad day, let alone even a few things. But what you can expect from yourself is easy steps in your perfect day. That's what you're going to do. And so, even if you do just the first step of that perfect routine, You can be happy with yourself because you stepped up on that bad day. And let's be real. Real talk. If the first step of your routine is hard, you're not going to do it on a bad day. So you might as well make it easy, and you can do whatever you want for the rest of your routine, but make sure that first step is easy. Because I don't want you to go through the same feeling I had when I'd feel motivated, have a routine set up, and then I would wake up and immediately scroll. Like that would make me so disappointed in myself. I vividly remember going through that over and over again. If you have to take one thing away from this video, make the first thing of your day as easy as possible. Only then will you actually do it. And so, if you've been watching along with this video, you realize that routine is the solution for scrolling. Simply put, if you're doing something else, you can't scroll. And that's exactly the methodology I use to help you out. Because let's be real, you're stuck in a rut, you've been scrolling, and if nothing changes, where do you think you'll end up just in 5 years? You'll be in the same exact spot you're in right now. And I don't want that for you. I want you to get better. And so there's a link in the description for a bunch of guys that I'm helping with the scroll. Link in the description.
Good video. Good video, good video. Y si ella es mala, pues no pasa nada.
I've studied body posture, and for that reason,
Hola, ¿cómo
it will
estás?
never be awkward
Perdón
again.
por no
The way
contestar.
that you move your body, the way that you stand in interaction, the way that you go up and talk to somebody, all of these movements and mannerisms, your body language with these things, will ultimately dictate whether or not you appear confident and attractive. Like, actually, it can make you more attractive. A guy who stands a certain way, a guy who understands the nuances of this video, can instantly become more attractive just from body language. Or if you don't understand these things, you start to appear less confident, less sure of yourself, more insecure, more nervous, more fidgety. And for those reasons, you actually lose attraction, right? So let's break this down. There's a couple of different small moments that happen in an interaction, and I want to go over each one of these and how it can make you less awkward, okay? Right? So, first one is greeting. All right, this is an important one because you're going to go up and make friends with men, you're going to go up and you're going to interact with women. And the way that you greet people with your body language will give off that first impression of a confident guy or an insecure guy. Now, with men, what I notice that I typically do, and I even do this with strangers, is if a guy is in the vicinity, I will just make eye contact,
Bluetooth device
and I'll
is
usually have a
ready
little
to
bit of a smile.
pair.
I'm not mean mugging. Like, I'm usually
Bluetooth
walking around.
device is
I'm not walking around.
connected successfully.
I walk around in a good mood. Right? I'm in a relatively good mood most of the time because I take care of myself. I work out. I eat clean. I get sleep. I get my shit done. I'm productive. I'm doing well in life in those areas. So I walk around and I try to just keep my chin up and a little bit of a smile on my face. Now, if there's a guy in my area, typically what I will do is I'll just look for the eye contact and I'll give a head nod, or I might just say, "Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, what's going on, man?" Right? That's it. A little bit of a greeting. Now, if you're already friends with him, or if he acknowledges you and he gets closer, either one, the next thing that I will typically do is I'll put my hand out. So it looks like this. It's very simple. I'll go like this. I don't go, "Hey, buddy, put it here, pal." No, it's very casual. "Hey, what's going on, man?" And by doing this, people fall into that frame. "Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?" That's what I do. "Hey, what's going on, buddy? What's good, brother?" Or fist bump. "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" That's how I greet men.
I do this in the nightclub. I do this at the gym. I do this walking down the street. I mean, I'm not dapping up guys on the street. If he's walking by, I'll say, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, good morning. But in the gym, in any sort of like environment where it's social, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? If he acknowledges, hand out, dap up instantly, even if I don't know him. That's how you can come off cool, calm, confident, and start to make friends, male friends. Women, it's a little bit different. All right. Well, actually, first off, when you do that thing, the moment that that ends, pay attention to your body because you can't be nervous and awkward with your body language after that. Okay, so the greeting is important. Being calm and relaxed and opening them in a proactive way comes off very confident. If you break eye contact and you look away and you don't say shit, it doesn't matter how you stand. You already like you didn't come off confident, right? So you can't avoid opening and approaching. Like guys are trying to study how to stand in an attractive way, but you're not talking to anybody. What the fuck? Doesn't work like that, man. So you need to take the proactive approach and start opening more people. That's an uncomfortable step that ironically will make you more relaxed over time. That's how you become more confident, more grounded in your body language. I can say that to any guy who walks up. I don't care who you are. I'll say, hey, what's going on, man? Because I've done it 1,000 times and I've done this with people all over the world. So that's the first part of greeting men. With women, I'm not going to go up and put my hand out because men to women that could just come off a little bit creepy. You want to be at a slightly safer distance and more emphasis on a smile and talking a little bit louder. So if she's over there, you could say, "Hey, what's going on?" It's a little bit softer. Or "Hello, how you doing today?" It's a little bit softer, a little bit warmer. You could still do that with the men, but this is just what I do. With guys, I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" With women, I'm like, "Hello, how you doing?" A little bit more charm. Okay, and a little bit further away, distance-wise, and a little bit less squared up. And it makes sense, right? Men with more testosterone, a little bit more masculinity. I'm not here to seduce or charm the man. I'm a bro. I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? What's going? What's good? What's going on? How you doing? There's still a smile, there's still a vibe there, but with women, just dial it back a little bit on the macho-ness, and you have a little bit more warmth to yourself, a little bit more friendliness. Initially, this is greeting people, right? Now, if she responds, or I'm like, oh, hey, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Kyle, by the way. Okay, I'm not dapping up, no fist bump. That time I'll do a handshake. I still don't do a formal business handshake. I'll grab her hand and I'll turn the hand like this. I'll say, I'm Kyle. Nice to meet you. Right? And I'm still just chilling like this. Now, a lot of guys ask me, why don't you square up when you go up and approach? It depends on the scenario. But if you go up and square up with somebody, that can be pretty direct. So depending on the environment, you might not want to go so direct that you can make the other person uncomfortable. Oftentimes at the gym or in some of these environments, opening slightly over the shoulder, or maybe not over the shoulder, but like this would be over my shoulder, and this would be squared up. Sometimes just ever so slightly pointing away is what I've noticed is a good position to open from. That's just what I've noticed after talking to so many different people. So I'll open safe distance. Now again, it depends on the context because there's cold approach, which is primarily what I teach, going up to strangers, approaching women. And for that, you need to be at a very safe distance, big smile, talking loud, downward tonality, getting their attention. Hey, excuse me. But there's other environments like the gym or you're at a cafe or in these other places where it might make sense to kind of drop down your voice a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to go into a crazy amount of specifics just around the opening. When I think of body language, it's more in the conversation. So the main thing as a man, when you're talking, when you're in interaction, it's staying planted, man. I don't want you like nervously moving your legs. This kind of a pose is not good. Closed off body language, not good. Head down, shoulders up, tucked, sad face, or like this, or scratching, or itching, or like all of these. Like you're not gonna do all of these, but you probably do one of these, or it might just be you moving your feet, or it might be you not knowing what to do with your hand. Right? All of these are different nervous tics that people do with their body language. And what I've noticed, because I've been literally doing cold approach for over a decade at this point, and I used to watch recordings of myself 10 years ago. The things that I did wrong then was everything was sped up. My feet, I would move fast. I would hold my at nighttime. I would be jabbing the straw into the ice with my drink. Even during daytime, I have old videos of me nervously sipping the coffee. If I look at myself now, when I approach, I don't move. My legs don't move. I'm just planted. I'm in kind of a wide stance with my feet, and I just talk from here. Occasionally I'll move. I might just move my feet like this. But I'm relatively just planted, like 95% of the interaction. Now, the other things I do with my body language is like my shoulders are kind of back, chin up, right? And when I talk, I use my hands. So planted feet, talking like this, and really, when it comes to having very confident body language that's not awkward, it's not that you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. It's about being able to stay relaxed in that body language. And really, the way that you show that is by having a lack of nervous movement. Okay, so it's not like there's all these crazy techniques. When it comes to having really relaxed body language, it's about removing the nervous tics that you do, the nervous mannerisms that you do. So for most men, it's going to be that you're in the interaction. I had a client recently, he was in the field, and like the whole interaction, he would have his one arm like kind of, I don't know why he was doing it, but he would kind of just chill like this. And I was like, bro, like, I don't know why, but I don't know if it's like a nervous thing or just like kind of like a weird habit. Like you have a tendency of keeping your arm behind your back. Or I had another client who like, he would stand on his back leg a little bit too much. It looked weird. Right? I had another client, he didn't know what to do with his hands. Right? And so he would just be kind of like scratching. This is like an unconfident thing. It's like because you don't even realize you're slightly awkward or uncomfortable in the interaction. So your hands just naturally they go into this thing. Right? It's about removing these things and just staying planted and having relaxed hand movements and facial reactions. So everything slows down. There's pauses in the conversation. There's moments where you smile. I'm not moving around a lot. I'm not doing a lot of nervous shit. If you could just do these basics really well without having the nervous stuff, that's how you come off confident. Most guys, it's just about recognizing what are your nervous mannerisms. It could be your feet. It could be your hands. It could be your scratching. It could be your swaying. It could be your ejecting. It could be in your voice. It could be your response time. It could be the speed that you're talking at. It could be the filler words that you're constantly using. It could be you're so nervous your voice is pitching up instead of just having a downward tonality. It could be a combination of these things. Most men, another one is a nervous laugh, constantly having a nervous laugh, constantly needing to break the tension and laugh and look away. Could be the eye contact. It's likely a combination of these things. I've seen all of them, and I've ironically had all of these nervous movements at one point or another. The way that I got better with this was by learning the structure, learning the skill set, moving through it one step at a time, playing back recordings of the audios of my conversations, seeing myself communicating on camera, and constantly tweaking those things. When I studied those things and I put in the reps and I went out into the world and started approaching men and women and then breaking down my conversations, that's where I started to see where I was going wrong with this stuff. If you don't do that, you're just going about this blind. All right. So the one thing I would recommend right now, go put down the camera and go talk on camera and go see the awkward movements that you have. You might make some little twitch with your face. You might constantly be looking over here. You might scratch your neck constantly. You might not do anything with your hands. You might be rocking your feet. You do nervous mannerisms and you don't even realize. And then Once you've worked those out, now go record yourself interacting with hot women that you don't know, and then listen to yourself in those conversations. Because I promise you, there's going to be a lot of things wrong that most men have never heard themselves in recording of interaction. They've never studied conversation structure. They have no idea where they're going wrong with this stuff. If you want to work with me directly to become a master at body language and your conversation skills, because I coach clients live while they're out in the field. You could be on a Zoom call while you're on with me while you're out in the field and you have AirPods in, and I guide you through the 5 levels of my framework. We start out foundational, and I start to guide you and coach you through that process. We make adjustments in real time. We then break down the recordings of those sessions. We then role play the conversation structure. I show you exactly where you're going wrong every step of the way. That way you could become really competent and master this skill set. And then you could go up and approach anyone in any environment, start to make friends, and start to land dates. If you want to work with me through that process, click the link down below. Hop on a consultation call with me directly so we could talk about how you can start getting these type of results in your own life. That's all for this video, fellas. Peace out.
Buenas noches, ¿cómo están? Espero estén muy bien. Que el Señor los bendiga. ¿Qué hago? Por el momento no hay nadie por aquí. Estoy por allí haciendo otras cositas mal hechas. Pero bueno, pero estoy muy bien. Que Dios los bendiga a todos. Ah, bueno. No hice falta, pero no los primeros días. Segundo, fue tan grosera, mano. Es que la gente se tira.
I've studied.
Señor.
Body posture.
Amor en mis manos. Su voz fue lo último que escuché en mi alma y llevé su nombre conmigo al cielo. Ella te cuidó. No llegaste tarde. Tenías razón. No fallaste. Necesitan perdonarse antes de que acabe el año. Dice, eso es todo lo que quiero. Entonces hizo algo tan loco que incluso el arcángel Miguel se quedó atónito. Su espíritu se envolvió en tu nombre. Dijo en un susurro,
Sure.
Dios,
Bro, buenas noches, ¿cómo
protégelos.
está?
Siguen siendo mis hijos.
Mm,
Le pidió a Dios que te protegiera el resto del año del daño, la traición, el dolor, la depresión que regresa en oleadas y la soledad que aparece tarde en la noche cuando nadie te entiende. Sí, Dios. Esta semana se enviarán más ángeles desde el cielo para protegerte. Puede que lo sientas. En tu sueño podrías oír extraños sonidos.
Aumenta o que é isso? Tchau.